First of all, I just wanted to thank everyone for coming today to help me out with this presentation. It's a little bit unorthodox, but what this is an introductory presentation, an introduction to me. And while doing the presentation, coming up with what I would be talking about, one of the ideas was to use a cultural background. Thinking of my cultural background, I couldn't think of anything that still affects me today. But then I came upon religion. And anybody that knows me knows how important a role religion plays in my life. Okay, anyone who knows me knows that that statement is completely false. Religion plays no part in my life at all. And this is actually what I thought was a significant part of my cultural background, secularism. So, in that degree, I thought about when I first learned that I had never been baptized. And thinking about that, all I knew as a kid was that I hadn't been baptized and everyone else was. I didn't know any Jewish kids when I was that young. But in any case, I just thought my parents were lazy. And it turns out that laziness was actually why my mother sent me and my brothers to church camp. You know, she said it was just to get us out of the house. Thinking back to church camp, I remember that I did a presentation in front of the whole church camp for memorizing 5 different Psalms from the Bible. And I remember being so proud of that moment, not having any idea what any of it meant. I don't know if any of the other kids knew what it meant, but they were at least trying to find out. They were going to church every Sunday. Me and my brothers were not. And it's not like we didn't try to go to church. I mean, you know, there's holidays, there's Easter and Christmas. And we actually even tried going to church, we tried going to church regularly every Sunday. And this was the Church of Today. Talk about getting weirder. This is non-denominational Christian. Church of Today had stadium seating, a local telecast, and its own bookstore. So that was an experience in itself. And like all the other times we went to church, it didn't last very long. And you know, this presentation is about how this affects me and how I am different because of it. And when I was thinking about that, I thought maybe that not growing up in a religious lifestyle maybe contributed to my ability for original thought or free thinking. Then again, on the same vein, I certainly am not the most disciplined person you might know, and maybe that is also part of it as well. So for better or worse, growing up without a strong religious background, I think has affected the kind of person I am. And when it comes to my parents' parenting style, I think all around, in general, the laissez-faire type of parenting style, you know, has allowed me to become more independent, but at the same time, for lack of discipline. And I thought, who would I be if I were raised strictly Catholic? How would I be different? What kind of person would I be? And when I was a kid, I thought it was just because I was different, you know, and that it was a bad thing. But now I see it as a good thing that I wasn't grown up, that I hadn't grown up with a religious background. And I think that it's you know, part of being general to being a skeptic. But I think that that's also a good part of who I am, because it's part of being a critical thinker and just being in general untrusting of ideas, not in the sense that you can't adopt them eventually, but just that you should be always questioning things and always asking questions of authority. And maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe there is a religious system that's right, and we're all, the rest of us, going to hell. Well, at least we'll be able to keep the family together. Thanks.